In this video, we'll examine inaccurate turns. The result of this error in both scenarios is crossing the center line. Here, the driver fails to initiate the turn at the correct point, takes the turn wide, and the center line is crossed. The predominant cause of this error amongst inexperienced drivers is not looking far enough ahead and contemplating the turn far enough in advance. Here is where the driver's attention should be focused. However, here, directly in front of the vehicle, is where many inexperienced drivers will errantly have their attention focused. The consequence of this error is insufficient advanced contemplation of the turn's commencement point. Another very common cause of this error amongst inexperienced drivers is a fear of hitting the corner. This is predominantly due to an underdeveloped ability to intuitively gauge the distance between the right side of the vehicle and the curb. If the turn is made properly, there will be a very ample 3.5 to 4 foot distance between the right side of the vehicle and the corner. However, many inexperienced drivers will perceive this distance to be much less than it actually is. As shown here, the result is that the driver takes the turn too wide and crosses the center line. Another frequent cause of this directional error is the driver looking toward areas which are not relevant to the proper completion of the turn. Here, the driver is looking left toward an essentially irrelevant zone. Because the intersection on the left has a stop sign, any driver coming from that direction would have to stop and yield to any vehicle already on the arterial. Although some attention should be directed to the left, the driver must concentrate on the primary task, which is the impending right turn. The second error is a cut left turn, where the driver initiates the turn too soon with the same result of crossing the center line. Typically, an experienced and competent driver will have an intuitive sense of where the center point or center line of the road is and direct the vehicle to the right of it. In the case of inexperienced drivers, however, this intuition is often underdeveloped. As a result, if an inexperienced driver fails to actively look for the center line or contemplate its location, the probability of this directional error is increased. At this turn, the yellow line is clearly visible and the driver should be able to easily steer around it. When the center line is visually obscured, however, inexperienced drivers can have a greater probability of improperly cutting the turn.